Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day today. It is uh, 1 o'clock, so I guess it's time to get this thing a rolling. And out here in West Texas, the wind is flat blowing today. I uh, I don't know exactly what the miles per hour is. I really hadn't looked it up, but it's just been blowing. I went out there and fed the animals, and hay just blew all over me, while I was putting the hay in. So, anyhow, as usual, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Um, Naturally, about the animals, the cows, the goats, the sheep, the lambs, the chickens, horses, uh, whatever. And we also talk about a lot about retirement and being prepared because that's all part of our lifestyle. Being prepared for what we what we may or may not run into as we wake up every morning, as we hope we wake up. And anyhow, we pretty much will talk about whatever you want, but of course the animals are being the big thing. We got the new single tree built for the big horse, and we've had a couple real good training sessions with him. They got everything tore up down just around the corner, like a football field and a half away from here where he is right now. So it'll be a day or two before we can get back to it because they're building a new barn down there. But anyhow, like I said, we can talk about the horses, we can talk about the animals. If you got questions, whatever it might be, then just get on this thing and type up them questions, and that's what we're here to talk about. So anyhow, uh, the videos uh, this weekend might not be too great. Uh, Monday we'll have my phone camera, the one that I had for doing this, got broken. So I'm using an old phone, and the new one will be uh, coming FedEx on Monday, and so things will be back to normal. It's kind of a hit and miss on this filming schedule. But of course, we're doing this on the computer here, and it's really way too windy to be outside trying to do much today, anyhow, because we live out here in West Texas, and it's all this sand. When the wind's blowing, is like being in a sandblaster. I'll tell you what, it just peppers you pretty good. So anyhow, we got real good. What we got little over 2 weeks now on the new lambs that were born. We got three new lambs. They're doing great. We're fixing next month to do some more bottle calves, um, and some more chicks, and we'll have an area out there that'll be separate for the rest of the cattle and everything. But we're going to put that on there, and that's where we're going to bring the camera out there, and we're going to go over everything with you on those that 4-part course about raising animals I told you we was going to do. It got set back a little bit, so we decided to go ahead and wait until we actually started, and that way we can show you exactly while we're messing with them and things are going on. So once again, I see we got a couple people in here. If you're on something that you can type in I know you can on the TV, or I don't think you can anyhow. I don't know much about this electronic stuff, but please, we're in here to open up a conversation. I do have uh, a friend that I had met from Oklahoma is supposed to be on here too today, and he'll have some good information, uh, and maybe we can figure any questions or problems out that you have. He basically does the same thing. Actually, he's the second one. I've met two people from Oklahoma that are just like my wife and I. And I will just bring up my wife won't be here today. She is off about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hour drive away at her aunt's house this weekend. And they're just, I don't know, having a good time, I think, is really why they went. I guess they're going to do something, but we hope they have a good time and everything for sure. So we got uh, a little bit of an update, I guess you could call it. We are at the point now where we are on some of the steers that we have. We are selling some of the steers, and what we're doing is we're selling them for a price, and then we're charging so much a month to raise it on out to whatever weight that the people want. And that's why we'll be starting with the new calves here in a little over a month. So the new ones will be ready. So it'll be a continuing thing that we have going here. Uh, that's that's part of the way that we make our money here on our little Texas ranch out here in West Texas. So anyhow, I do have a couple things to talk to people about, but we just have a couple people here, and I know who one of them is. So I think we'll maybe bring this up a little bit later when maybe there's more people on here to hear it. And then, of course, for uh, the people that aren't on here live, they'll be able to get it. I don't know. I think it's up for a little while this afternoon, and then I go through and put it up for tomorrow. It takes about 20 hours for them to get through doing what they're doing so I can put it up in my videos. So we're looking for questions. We're looking for chats. We want to know what's going on. We got a nice guy up in Colorado also on the last live that we done. And well, I've met several, but the one in particular, we have talked a couple times on emails and stuff. We talked once on the phone, but email about some stuff that we might do together. And I'm really still learning how all this stuff works. As you all know, I've been 4.5, almost 5 months. We've been doing this. I will tell you this: you all get a laugh out of it. I thought I was doing great. I mean, I thought everything was hunky dory. I was getting a lot of views and stuff like that. They said that YouTube said, "Well, that don't count. All that short stuff doesn't count." Of course, naturally, if you do millions of them, it does. But so basically, what I have done, so anybody that doesn't know this, and I put it out, is we started here this past month, doing more longer videos and less of the shorts. And what so far that has showed me over about a month or 5 weeks of doing that, we were way up here with amount of views we got on the shorts, and way down here where you can't even see it on the long videos, the regular videos. And that's kind of what we got to get our subscribers and anybody that wants to look at it to get on there and subscribe and look at them to get our channel going really good. And anyhow, I found out that September, October, November, and sometime into September, so like 3.5 months, 4 months, let's say 4 months, the amount of valid hours that I got on here was, I don't know. Even though it said I had almost 3,000 watch hours, what they counted was only like 95 or 100 hours. Well, we said, well, I got to do something different about that. And so we have turned over doing the longer videos as opposed to the shorts, and we actually ended up in about a month and a half, so about maybe a third of as long. We got we got like 350 eligible hours now, something like that. A lot more with a whole lot less views. And I guess that's just because the shorts, they just come in and out of and in and out of and stuff like that. So I really don't know. Anyhow, uh, we gotta let me get a little drink here. If I'm gonna be running my mouth, I gotta have some of my Coke Zero. So we're kind of waiting for some more people to get in here, and I'll just be honest with you. I don't try to hide nothing. I don't know anything about all of this electronic stuff and that, but sometimes we get quite a few people in here and we just have a great time chatting and talking. And then sometimes, since we've started this, we just don't hardly get anybody. And I just have to sit here and run my mouth for an hour, and see what's going on. And I'd rather answer questions or ask questions. If y'all are more knowledgeable than me, all you got to do is get on there on that chat thing and, uh, you know, put a question or put a comment on there. So I will just put something on there. Put a comment on here, please. Thank you. There, so we got a comment. I don't know that does anything, but we got a comment on there. Maybe we'll get some more people to comment on there. So here again, we're back to the animals. We talked about last time about the hay, and I'll tell you what, I'm getting some great hay now. Uh, our livestock is doing much better. I got some hay that just didn't have any nutrient to it. And this hay we're getting now, I'm getting it from the same place I have been for about a month or maybe a little over, maybe I guess a couple months now, and I really like it. That and of course we feed grain to everybody once a day, and then they have free choice on the hay, and that seems to be doing just really good. Everybody is kind of at their, how they have these scales or graphs of where an animal of a certain breed should be at so many months in a year and whatever. Well, our animals all seem to be in the top 95 percentile group. So I think we're doing okay. And of course, these were the calves and the steers out there were bottle fed, and they're always slower growing, especially the first 8 to 10 months. Then it kind of levels out, but they're slower growing to that point. So they're doing really good. And I will just, as a teaser, put out there that we are going to talk about the draft horses. And as most of you know, the draft horses are my favorite thing. I intend on. I'm trying to work on something that I will let you all know that we're going to have with these draft horses and stuff. And of course, we've got the one horse we're working with right now, but we're going to try and get us something going here. I don't want to say too much, or I'll let the cat out of the bag. But anyhow, we're going to do some building and fencing out there and get ready for that, hopefully. So if you all if you like draft horses, the horse that I'm training that you see the videos of, Hemidar. He's he's just a big horse. He's not a draft horse, but he's as big as a small draft horse. He's over 16 hands tall, and he's a pretty healthy horse, you know. And but the draft horses are kind of my forte. I used to raise Belgian draft horses, and just I've had more fun with Belgian draft horses than anything in the world that you can imagine. Now, if you aren't interested in the horses or the animals, like I said, as always on our channel, when we go on and do these live things, we actually talk about four things. We talk about the animals. We talk about things having to do with retirement or leading up to retirement. As most of you know, my wife and I are both 73 years old. We talk about current events that are going on, and happenings and events that are going on in the world. And we talk about preparedness, how to be prepared, because all of those things, those four bullet points or whatever you want to call them, are our life. Being prepared. The animals, we talk about the the current events and what's going on and the where, and how retirement affects all of us, how it should affect you getting ready for it, and being prepared for whatever might come. Like we have talked about, everybody always said nothing could happen like COVID. Man, you got up one morning and all of a sudden there was nothing in the stores, nothing. People couldn't get food for their family. And is just a little closer than that, we had the big snowstorms, and I seen on the TV where they were talking about all of the shortages of, like, one lady was trying to get bread for her kids to make sandwiches with. She went to 6 stores and couldn't get a loaf of bread. So those are the kind of the four things that we talk about. We'll pretty much talk about anything that you want to, and we just love to have you jump in here and chat with us about them. And I just got, well, this isn't on the thing. Let me read this. Jonas, I'm probably not pronouncing this right, who lives in Idaho on a ranch, said he's watching. Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry, I probably didn't pronounce that name right, but we're glad you're watching. And if you're watching on something you can type in there, please type in and give us a comment, give us a holler, give us a shout. Let's see what's going on. We might need some of your insight onto what's going on and everything. With I'm over there and up and over out there where you're at should be horse country and the cattle country, livestock country, everything like that. So now I don't know how many of you have or haven't watched my channel, my wife and I's channel, in the past, but we do. All of our, like, everything in our freezer comes off from our little ranch. We have beef in the freezer, we have lamb in the freezer, we have pork in the freezer, and I don't take it out. I handle all of the processing myself. And I have some friends that come and help me because it's pretty heavy to do by yourself. But I mean, as far as getting it done, I do all that myself. We'd love to answer any questions about that. We had a couple of videos that we put up about that, and just anything that you'd like to talk about. You don't realize how hard it is, and I've said this before, but to get on here and just talk when there's not anybody else's on. Now, like last week, we had several people on there talking, and man, the time just flew by, just like that. It goes so much faster. So, what do y'all think? Do you all have, and this isn't just for anybody that's in here, but there's only two people in here right now, but hopefully we'll get some more. Uh, do you have something you want to talk about? Do you have a certain problem with your animals, with your horses, training, feeding, doctoring, medicines, how to administer the shots, how to do this, how to know when to do this, how to know the dosage of giving a shot? These are all things that we love to talk about and everything. Uh, I don't think that by any. I'm not trying to tell you I know everything. That's what I'm trying to say, but I know a little bit. I picked up a little bit in the past 73 years. So, I will certainly try to. And if I don't get the answer, I'll have the answer. But as I prep, is there something in particular that you'd like to talk about the next time? That's what we'll have on here. I'll have something already so that we can talk about that. And I would like to encourage everybody to, if you think they might like it, tell some of your friends or something so that they can jump in and talk on here too. Now, I'll tell you what, the one thing that you won't be talking about on here, or if you want to talk about it, I don't say no to anything, but I know nothing about. I think the biggest thing on this what are we on? YouTube, is how to make money, how to do this, how to do that. I don't know how to do that. If I did, I'd already have done it. I'll tell you that. I'm just learning this thing, and so I can't be much help on that. However, if we get a lot of people on here, there may be somebody in there that knows. But now about the animals and stuff like that, I might have an answer or two. And I would just love to share my opinions or hear other people's opinions. And like I said, somebody else may know more about it than me. And by gullies, they can jump right in. Uh, and I got to get me a little bit more of my Coke Zero here. I'm kind of hooked on this Coke Zero. I like it pretty good. So the last horse training session we had with the big horse down there a couple of days ago went super. I don't know if you know it, but the problem with pulling a stone boat with a horse does not know how to pull. They have to be taught how to pull weight. So the more weight that you put on there, even though it's low weights right now, with me on there, I weigh close to 200 pounds, 180 some pounds. I got a 100-pound bale of hay to sit on. I got the sled that's probably a couple 100 pounds. If it's real smooth, he goes along, but boy, it hits something to stop it, and he thinks somebody's saying, "Whoa, up there, it's got to stop." You have to teach them. It has to be in their mindset. They have to know they got to pull through that. They got to know when to quit and when to start and when to keep going in between. And that's the point we're at with Humidor right now. And he's doing great. We took a long time getting him there because we just had so much going on here with the other animals, and because of my wife's illness and one thing and another, we just couldn't spend enough time to get it done sooner. But he's just doing great. As I like to say, he's doing great in spite of me. So Well, I'm hoping that we get some more people on here. Uh, the big wigs, is that what you want to call them, or the googly gocks, the people that are supposed to know on this YouTube stuff, say that I'll be on here with, if I continue to do this, we'll be on here for months, a year or more without any people. Well, that could be. I mean, that's always a you know a possibility. However, I will say that we have had quite a few people on here before, and we've also had zero people on here. Now, I don't know. I don't have any way of telling how many people have been in and out of here, but the little people icon and there's numbers after it. Um, there's been a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but there's probably been 10, 15 people have come in and stayed for a few minutes and left. Well, I got to tell you, I don't really blame them. I don't want to sit here and just listen to myself anyhow. I we got to build this thing up to where we get people in here talking. And then once you got questions and going on and back and forth and some banter going on, then things are so much better. The ones that we've had, the people on, uh, I mean, the hour's over before you know it. I'll tell you what. So, uh, well, let's see. Like I already said, the wind's blowing really bad today. So it's a good day to be in the shed here in the shop instead of out in the sand blowing. We've got chores done, and we're just kind of hanging out this afternoon, taking a little retirement time, I guess, this afternoon. I don't have any projects really going on. I've got a couple to do, but they're outside, so we're just going to kind of be a retired person for a couple hours this afternoon until we do evening chores. So I don't know what uh, what the best thing to do to get more people in here on a regular basis is. Uh, I guess we just keep hanging in here, hanging in, and that's what we're going to do. So I said when I started this thing, not the channel, but this doing this open thing, we were gonna keep on doing it every week for a month, 6 weeks to see how it would go. Now we may cut it down to just we've been doing it 3 times a week, but we may cut it down to one a week if we don't get enough people, because like I said, nobody just wants to sit here and listen to me. They want to have something to talk about and converse and ask questions and stuff like that. So that's what we're trying to work towards. And I don't know. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. But we're here right now. So where are you? uh, is there? Like I said earlier, I already asked this. I'll say it again. Is there anything in particular that you want us to bring on here and discuss? And I mean, I can even I sometimes do the uh, well. Now I hope I'm getting through. It says the connection is unstable. Yeah, I guess it cleared up. This wind, when the wind blows this hard, we have trouble with the internet connection. So I think it's back working now. So we do it sometimes the live right out with the animals and stuff. and we can actually show you on the animals if there's something you want to know about, know how to do it, or whatever like that. And that's why we want to know what you all want. That's what we're trying to figure out on this for this live stuff, and it takes you to help us figure that out. And it takes people coming on here, and I don't know why they come sometimes, and then they don't other times. Now, if I'd have got a whole lot one time, and then nobody from then on, I'd say, well, they just talking about. But it's kind of hit and miss. We'll do this one good and that one not. So we're hoping we'll build the people up. And like I said, these live ones that we do that have people in there talking and carrying on, they just go really really good. We thoroughly enjoy those. It's a little bit hard when we don't have someone on here and we're not getting questions or opinions or uh, questions answered or whatever. Uh, it's kind of hard. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty good at running my mouth, my wife says, but I mean, you kind of run out of things to talk about. Now, I have things to say, but I don't know if there's not people in here talking on this or typing in on this chat thing, then I don't know if it's stuff that people want to talk about. So I don't know if I'm helping or hurting, hindering or aiding and abetting. Who knows what's going on in this world? I'll tell you what. But like I said, last session went really good with the big horse. I did. There's nothing out in this part of the world with draft horses. So I could not get a single tree out here. And I don't know if you've tried to order stuff. The shipping costs more than the price of stuff anymore. So I made one out of a 4x4 post. And it's good. It's solid. It's not going to break. And it's going to do the job really good. We've used it a couple times now, and we're real happy with it. And there again, that's just part of our lifestyle, is that doing what we can with what we got, or the best we can with what we got. Because everything on our place, not everything, but the majority of it is recycled, reused, old stuff that we just reuse it again and make something that we can work out of because of the price. And it makes it a whole lot better that way. It makes it a whole lot cheaper that way. Let's put it that way. So I guess what we need is some more people with some questions in here. I wonder, somebody send me a note or something on one of the videos, or I guess there's a place on the home page for my channel. You can just leave a post or something. But if you're looking at this after it's not live anymore, leave me a idea what you think, and I'm just saying this because you won't be here live, of things that you like. Is like I said, mine, draft horses is my thing. Raising the animals is my thing. The beef, the cattle for beef, all of our stuff. But what aspect of that interests you? Drop me a line on that. Put it on that. Or you can send me an email to that. Our Little Texas Ranch. It's just, that's it. That's the name of our email at gmail.com. Our Little Texas Ranch at gmail.com. You can drop me off an email on that too. And Like I had one person asking about the draft horses, and there are no. The only stupid question is the question you don't ask. So just remember, if you got a question, nobody, nobody ought to be too good to ask that question. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find out the answer for you. Um, but anyhow, they were talking about the big horse, and they was asking about this, that, and the other thing, and they had never been around a big horse. As a matter of fact, I think the only thing they'd ever been around was a Shetland pony when they were a kid at one of these carnival rides. But anyhow, I talked to them, and I took them and I showed them the horses, and I let them brush the horses. The kids, they thoroughly enjoyed that. You know, that just made their day. And these were people that I didn't know. We just had met and talked, and I'm trying to get the word out there, so to speak. Because, like I said, this is not a draft horse area. It's an all whippy-yi-yo, ki-yi-yo cowboy area, which is fine. I like it all, but the draft horses are my big thing, and we're looking forward to that more and more all the time. Have to wet my whistle a little bit there. If y'all looking on here and you got a favorite cigar, you can tell me what your favorite cigar is too, and I'll tell you what my little cheap cigars are. Let's see. We've been on here about 35, 36, 37 minutes now. 37 minutes. Actually, there's a thing up there that tells me I don't have to keep looking up there at the clock. It tells me how long we've been on there. So we got a few more minutes. Uh, I'm going to take a real quick break here. And I guess you all know what for, beans I've been drinking that Coke Zero right there. So I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be back in about 60 seconds. Well, I'm back. I guess I can have another drink of my Diet Coke now. That's good. So, I still don't know how that other comment got up here. It was it's not in this chat thing, but I was glad to get that. And we've had a few people come in and go, but we've not had much conversation here today. And I think a lot of that's because people maybe look at it on TV and they can't do that. And this is not really a. I mean, I certainly give my opinion about stuff, and I may have a strong opinion on something that I put when I do the videos, but this is for conversating, talking to one another, answering questions that we have back and forth. That's what this live is for. So if they come by and just see me, it's not like they're going to be in the middle of a big oration about something. Oration, is that right? Oration, something like that. Anyhow, I think y'all get the gist of it. I learned a long time ago, school teacher I had. You always hear, that's the gist of it. Gest. Well, that's a different word. It's the gist of it. Jist. I remember that. That's probably the only thing I remember from school. I don't know. I didn't. I was not the best pay attentioner in school. So anyhow, also what we talk about on here now is retirement. You know how we live. We're on fixed incomes and stuff. How we live in retirement. Uh, different things like that. So I, you know, I want to know what you all want to talk about, and if there's something I need to research for the next time, drop me a line, send it to the email, or put a post, or just ask it in any one of the comments on any of the videos. You can leave something in there about that too. So I don't think that there's going to be a whole lot of people in here today, but that's okay. Those of you that have came in, and like I said, all of these gurus of the internet say that it takes a long time to get these live things going, and that's okay. We got well, I don't know if I got time, but I think I maybe got a little time. Like the one guy says there, if you ain't dead, you ain't done. Old Mike, and he's got one of those video channels. He's a pretty cool old dude. I'll tell you what. He's 80. He's 81, I think. So he's like 8 years older than I am. I'm a very young 73. Very young. And anyhow, we we need your feedback, and we need to, you know, find out like if there's something specific. And also, I will say that we're with these how-to videos that we're doing. We decided to go ahead, means we had to set them back a little bit anyhow, to go ahead and do them on a live basis, and we can show things, and then right then when people have questions, we can go ahead and answer the questions. We'll have like just for instance, the one on raising baby chicks into laying hens. We'll show you how to keep them warm, using a heat lamp, what kind of feeders to use, keeping their water clean, putting in the medicine and stuff in their water that they need to stay healthy. And then of course you got their grower that you give them and let them nibble on right away from the very get go. And that way we can actually show it to you. And it's, if I'm looking at something, I can get a whole lot better idea than if somebody's just trying to tell me, because they got their idea in their head and I got my idea in my head, and it might be way far apart. I don't know. So I don't know. What do you think? So we got about 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes to go here. So we'll see if we get anybody in here. At one time I noticed up there we have 5 people, but they must all come at the same time because they didn't stay long. They come in and they said, "Look at that old 73-year-old man." Or they might have said because they nicknamed me. Somebody started calling me that. The old retired ranting rancher. So I don't know. I whatever. Call me anything you want except late for dinner, and we'll be okay, I guess. So that's where we're at. I've kind of updated you on the goings on with the big horse and the like I said, got most of the chores done for today. We have to go back out a little bit here about 4 o'clock, and then we go out at just before dark and close the hens in so nothing gets to them. And that's where we're at. So the next video that we do will uh, we'll be doing out with the animals. We're going to do one from with the horses and stuff. So you'll be able to get to see everything right up there. So if the horse sends me for a tumble, you'll be able to see it. I certainly hope they don't send me for a tumble though, because I got to the point where it hurts when I tumble. Oh me. Well, we got a few more minutes. Anything y'all want to talk about, just holler up there and type it in. Our hour is kind of dwindling down to the last little bit. If anybody showed up or not, I would stay on for at least 40 minutes, something like that. Uh, and we're closing in on 50 minutes. We're getting close to the hour right now. We actually got uh, actually 48 minutes right now. So I keep forgetting that I got a little time clock over there that tells me how long I can look at. I don't think I really realized. I don't know if I ever noticed that before or not. But see, that's how it goes. So we got anybody want to come and help do chores tonight? Just come on over. We'll always take an extra helping hand. We got manure to shovel, and we got hay to put out, and we got grain to feed, and there's always something that needs fixes around a ranch or a farm. Always something, I'm telling you. So anyhow, next few days, tell people we're going to be on here, and I put in a thing on our page, but we're going to try it at 1 o'clock instead of 3, like we did today, because I have had a couple of people tell me that the 3 o'clock is kind of a late. So we're going to try the 1 o'clock for a week or two and see how that works out. And if we had all the people that have come in and out of this last 52 minutes at one time, we'd have a whole bunch of people talking in here. But there again, none of them have stayed too long today. And the last one, well, I only got one. The guy sent me that message, but that wasn't on this, but it was about the live. So we're hoping that our next time, which will be Monday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we will be live. And anything y'all want to talk about, and please tell your friends and neighbors and I don't know, the enemies of your enemy, because they say that's got to be your friend or something like that. I don't know how that old saying goes. But anyhow, we, like I said at the beginning of this thing, and I usually say it every time, the times that we get on here and there's people here, man, the time just flies by. The times we get on and there's not anybody that's talking on here, some people are just listening, but aren't typing on the questions. You even me, somebody with a big mouth like me, kind of runs out of things to say. But it's a great windy day out here in West Texas. That old sand a blowing just like a sandblaster, I'll tell you what. And last year it lasted way in late in the spring, but it's starting early this year. I hope it doesn't last late too, because we've had wind real strong wind for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now. So I'm thinking we're getting pretty close to the end of it here for sure. And like I said, I love it when we get a lot of people in here, and then these days we don't get anybody that talks much. It gets a little boring, I guess. So I hope that everybody will tell some more people, and we'll get this thing going, because it's not about me; it's about what you all want to do. And I I think we get something going here. I really do. So, with that being said, I'd ask that y'all would please go look at our our little Texas Ranch videos. Uh, Subscribe, thumbs up or thumbs down, whichever you think, and comments. We love to have comments. That's the best part. Uh, Whether anything else happens, getting that comments and that feedback just makes all the difference in the world for sure. So I guess that is going to pretty much wrap it up for the day. And I hope that when we have our next live one on Monday, there'll be a bunch of people in here and stay the whole time, and we'll have just a great big conversation. So we're going to call it a day and wish you all a happy weekend, great weekend, and we'll see y'all next week. Please remember those three things: subscribe, comment, and thumbs up or thumbs down. We appreciate each and every one of you. God bless, and we'll see you next week. See y'all later.